Hey, good morning, you guys. I decided to jump on for about a couple hours or an hour and a half. It's a beautiful day. I'm going walking. The water looks so freaking beautiful. The water is so beautiful. And it's not too cold. So I gotta I'm gonna wait and start letting you guys get the notifications. I know it's early and it's Sunday, but y'all need to wake up. Y'all shouldn't be sleep this late. You're supposed to get up with the birds with me. Oh, I see four people that's on. Hey, Miss Diane, what's going on? Latasha, Allen, I want to talk this morning. Hey, Goldilocks, Lorenzo, what y'all up doing? I haven't cooked breakfast. I just been drinking. I drank some coffee, and I don't think I made it strong enough. Hey, Lily, Jay, y'all doing okay this morning? I was looking at something in the news yesterday and I was like, Jesus Christ, these people got to be careful. But it was like Afghanistan in Memphis last night, anyways. People are totally off of their rockers. Okay. I think folks should start taking when people do things that are not normal, like when, because we're in a time now and you would think like older people would know better, but when people are insistent on violating you of any kind, you need to take actions immediately because what's happening is people brushing it off. They're not documenting it. They're not doing anything to try to get these people off of the street. Um, you document that stuff because it's not normal. Um, and so that if you have to take them down, you won't be tied all up in um at the police station and looking at serving no time. It's already well documented that these persons or person um has a history of violating you or messing with you. People don't do that because they just they don't they don't it's always good to handle things on the front end. Always remember that, handle things on the front end. I don't care how small it is, just know it's not normal to have a mindset and a consistent mindset of wanting to violate other people. That's I don't care what the violations are. It's not normal. If it's against the law to do something, prying into somebody's life, showing up at somebody's house consistently, messing with somebody, those are violations. There's nothing normal about that. I always remember that. Um, Working love, drink enough coffee for me. Okay. Good morning, Miss Sharon. She says I was on coffee at work this morning because I passed medication. Okay, Miss Latasha. I wanted to talk about the Houston man had avenged his brother's unaliving by getting close to his baby's mother and then taking her out, okay, and mistreating his children. And when I saw that, I was like, wow, um, I don't know if the young lady knew that this man was related to the young man that her baby's father had unalived. And for me, just kind of looking into it in the background, it seems like it may have been some type of hold on for a second, you guys. I want to show you all. You all make sure y'all hit the like button also. Make sure you hit the like button as you come into the room. And like I said, when I saw this, I was like, wow, that's why these young ladies have to be careful. You have to be careful, even if your children are grown or whatever. Hold on. Okay, here it is. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button.
And new tonight, murder charges are filed in the death of a woman who was found in her Seabrook apartment, along with 2 children who were not harmed. We first reported on this story a week ago when SWAT officers were called in to search for a suspect. Now, police initially thought Mary Jane Collins had been shot to death. Later, determined she died of blunt force trauma and a stab wound. 23-year-old Dwaylen Ernest Hurst is charged with murder, but so far he is not in custody.
Okay, y'all. He's still on the run. Okay.
These mushrooms make you feel better. They increase focus, energy while keeping you calm.
Good evening to you. I am Rashi Das, and thank you so much for joining us this Friday night on Fox Local. Our top story for you tonight: a killer on the run after police say that he shot and killed a woman in front of her children at an apartment over in Seabrook. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia is live in Seabrook with what we know at this hour. Jonathan.
Seabrook police continue to work.
Hold on, you guys.
For you tonight, a killer on the run after police say that he shot and killed a woman in front of her children at an apartment over in Seabrook. Fox 26's Jonathan Mejia is live in Seabrook with what we know at this hour. Jonathan.
Seabrook police continue to work to find a man they believe shot and killed a woman inside her apartment. Right now it is quiet, but earlier today, this was the location of a SWAT scene.
Oh my God, when I was driving by, I just saw like all these shining lights, bright lights, glaring, and Seabrook police, fire marshals. I didn't know what was going on. I really did. And I thought it was just an accident car wreck.
It was no car wreck. It was a scene of a SWAT situation where Seabrook police were camping outside the Teakwood apartment near East NASA Road for hours, only to find out a woman was shot dead inside and 2 children were unharmed. Residents who live at the complex were asked to remain inside with their doors locked until the scene was secured and deemed safe. I spoke with Seabrook Police Chief Rolf Nelson over the phone, and he confirmed that the woman and the suspect were in a relationship.
It's scary because when you're in a relationship and you're going through things, you're scared to tell anybody anything. You don't know who to tell, and sometimes people believe you, but even if you say something and you're still in it, it's because maybe you have to be.
The 2 children were removed safely, and I asked Chief Nelson if the kids were able to provide information as to what happened inside the apartment, but police are not releasing that information at this time. Residents at the complex were shaken up by this scene and the reality that a tragedy happened.
I've been in a situation like that, and I don't wish this on anybody, and I'm sorry that she lost her life. I really am. It's so bad. All I can do is pray for her and her family.
Seabrook police has not released the identity of the suspect in our.
Okay, so that was 2 weeks ago. Since then, they know more about what has happened. Of course, the young man is still on the run. Okay, the children was able to tell. She started telling her friends about what was going on. And this is the young lady right here. She's a pretty young lady. This is the suspect. Okay. It says court records revealed a sinister. It says a court records revealed a sinister motive behind the fatal stabbing of a mother of 2 in the Houston area. Police say Dwaylen Hurst dated Mary Jane Collins in order to retaliate against her baby's father for unaliving Hurst's brother in 2020. Okay. Collins, 23, and her 2 young sons moved into Unit 504 in an apartment complex in Seabrook, Texas on October 4th. Collins told friends that Hurst had been abusive towards her. And you guys, he was also abusive towards her sons. Okay. I don't know what is going on. Hold on, y'all. He was also abusive towards her sons, you guys. Hold on. It says the violence escalated in days before her unaliving, according to court records. Police say Hurst was in her apartment on October 4th when Michael King, the father of her sons, made a video call from prison on a smuggled cell phone. King was in prison for unaliving Hurst's brother in 2020. During the video call, Hurst taunted King, then slapped one of King's sons in the face. So when the baby's father called home to talk to his baby's mother, to talk to his sons, right? To see his sons on the video call, the boyfriend who had gotten with his baby's mother to event, so because they said he started beating on her, he started mistreating and beating on her children. When he called home and he saw him on the video call, he started abusing his son, right? That was taunting the man that is convicted of unaliving his brother. So he popped his son in the face so he could see him. I guess that was a way of saying, you took my brother out. Now I've gotten close to your gal and I'm mistreating your sons, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to mistreat. And he has small children. I'm going to mistreat your sons. And so he hit his son in the face so that his father could see him on video call, right? Mistreating his son. It says during the video call, Hurst taunted King, then slapped one of his sons in the face. This is the girl right here. Like I said, she's a pretty girl. The child could be heard crying on FaceTime as Collins told Hurst to get away from his son. Then the call ended abruptly at 10 a.m. according to court documents. Police say Hurst stabbed Collins to death before fleeing the apartment. King apparently called his mother from prison, and she posted to Facebook that someone should check on Collins. Friends also saw the Facebook post, called 911, and officers conducted a welfare check. Police found Collins' body in her apartment, and her 2 sons were unharmed. An arrest warrant was issued for 22-year-old Hurst, who is still at large. Police said Hurst was motivated to revenge the death of his brother and thus befriended, abused, and then murdered the victim, who was the mother of Michael King's children. Collins' family tell NBC they want justice for her, and Hurst needs to be arrested. Okay, this is the young man right here. He is on the run, right? And my thing is, did she know that this was the young man's brother, right? When he immediately, first of all, I ain't gonna be with nobody that abuses me, but you talking about mistreating and abusing my children, okay? So he had been waiting to see the person that was in jail for taking his brother out, and they said they was half brothers, right? They had the same father. I guess they were still close, but he had been waiting for that so that he could mistreat his children. He started beating on his son when he called home, so that he can see, you took my brother out. Now I'm screwing your girl, beating on your girl, and beating on your children. And so that's why I say women have to be very careful about who they, choose to have around their kids and all of that. Okay. You just have to be careful. You don't know what people's motives are. Me, myself, once I found out, I don't know if she knew from the start, but once I found out that this is the brother of someone that my child's father, who I was with at the time that the unaliving happened, this is who he's in jail for killing his brother, I would have immediately gotten away from him. According to some of the things that I wrote, when he started beating on her and the children, she ended up moving or something. The apartments that she was in at that point, she had just moved to. How he got there, I don't know. I don't know how you could be in love with somebody that mistreats you. I hate people that think they can mistreat me, but you know, I was gonna say, but I'm older, but hell, I've always been like that, right? So I think that this is an unfortunate situation, but it just goes to show that people should be, especially women, when they have children, you have to be very careful about who you allow in your space, right? You shouldn't be letting everybody come to your house. As I said, it's not normal for people that you don't even know to want to run violations on you. And that's why, you know, I know people say she always run to the police. I work for the police department for many years. I know how effective it is. I don't care how small the offenses are. Okay. I know how effective it is to get paper trails going, right? Because it's nothing normal about a person that has a mindset to want to continuously violate people, right? And normally, when it's a violation, there is a law to support that violation, jail time for that violation, you know, if people follow through, right? So, hey, I thought that this was extremely, you know, sad. They said when they got there, when the police got there and did the welfare check or whatever, because the boyfriend from jail called his mother and told his mother about what had just happened, that the, you know, I don't know if he knew at that point that she was dating this man. Okay, but he let it be known, you killed my brother. Now I'm over here mistreating your sons, and popped his son in the face. Her sons were, I believe, like under 5 or something like that. Very beautiful children. And they said when they got there and the police was knocking on the door, the mother was already unalive, and they could see the 2 little boys peeking out of the blinds, scared. The police had to ask them, you know, please open the door. They just peeking out of the blinds. Women got to be careful. It ain't no dick in the world that good where you got to be laid up, okay, with somebody that's mistreating you and mistreating your children, because she had started to confide in her friends about how mean he was to her and how mean he was to her children. You send me on another, even though my girls are grown, I go to another type of crazy when you start messing with my kids. I already be crazy when you violate me, but I go to another type of crazy when you start talking about messing with them kids. And I think that every person who has children, whether it's a man or a woman, should feel that way. I have issues when men are with women that are jealous of their children from previous relationship. Well, he's showing that child all of the attention. He's showing that child all of the attention. He got these kids over here. He with me. He gonna take care of these kids first. A bitch like that, you ain't even got no business with. Because if she don't love your children, she don't love you. Those kids are a part of you. But you have a lot of men that start downplaying the affection that they have from kids from other relationships to keep their household peaceful. Is something wrong with that? If she feels a certain way about your darn kids, she ought to be too scared because of the affection, and she see the love that you have for them kids. She ought to be too scared to say anything. You let it be known, my kids ain't gonna disrespect my woman, and my woman ain't gonna disrespect my kids because I love my children. They're not gonna come in here messing up my household, but she ain't gonna be disrespecting my kids, and vice versa. You have men that get with women all the time that they're her kids. Those her kids, they living all up in her house, ain't got 2 damn nickels to rub together. No money, no nothing. He living up in her house, eating her kids cereal every day. His snot running out his nose, the kids' milk and cereal running all down his damn mouth. Okay, but he don't like her kids, man. I wish he keep them kids away from me. How you gonna even want to be with somebody like that? I'm these kids' mother, and as far as fathers, they should say I'm the kid's father. My priority is to protect and to love my children. I love my woman. My kids come over here with the shit. I'm going to handle that. She ain't got to say nothing because I'm going to straighten that out. So, the first thing you hear a lot of women say, well, them kids come over here and they act like they mama and they don't like me. And oftentimes it's not even that. It is that sometimes these women are intimidated by those don't like the kids because they're intimidated by the kids' mothers. They feel like that man probably still got some affection. They can't understand, he loving them kids, he kissing all on them. They equate that with wanting to be with the mother. No, that's that man's, those are his children. He's got a right to love his children. He ain't got to still have no affection for the mother. And so it's a whole lot of unhealthy stuff that goes on because people are insecure, they're jealous, all of that. I had a friend who he had gotten married. And I remember like a few days before he got married, he's like, you want to go to meet at the coffee shop? I said, yeah. What's going on? I said, how you feeling? You about to get married? As far as I know, the girl that he was about to marry was a really, nice girl, has a lot going for herself. And he says, the only thing that makes me happy about this marriage is that I know it's going to be the shortest lived marriage that there ever was. So I'm ready to go ahead and get married to her so we can get divorced. I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, I'm telling you, I know it's going to be the shortest lived marriage. We've already put too much money into the wedding. I mean, this was 2 days before his wedding. I was like, wow. I was like, why would you speak that on your marriage? He said, I'm telling you, this man had children from a previous relationship, had not been with his first wife in many years. But he had a daughter that was about 11 years old, and this lady had way small children. And he said, when my daughter comes to town from California, me and my daughter I'll be wanting to talk to her because she's getting older. I want to have private time with her. She got issues with that. She was already exerting jealousy. Why you got to be closed up in the room with her talking to your daughter? Why you want to have one-on-one time, with your daughter? Issues with that. So, hey, he already knew it wasn't going to work out. And guess what? In a matter of 4 years, I think it was less than 4 years, they was divorced. Right? Because there was already jealousy going in, and he didn't want to downplay his affection for, because he had adult children. He just had one that was not an adult yet. He didn't want to downplay his affection for his daughter, right? From a previous relationship. Okay. And so people see these red flags and stuff going into relationships and stuff all the time. Like I said, even though my children are adults, I don't play about my kids. I used to feel it. I used to be like, wow, my grandmother would always say it though. She was like, because they were like old fashioned, and growing up in my grandma, on my mother's side of the family, my great grandmother, she had ruled, because I was a teenager when my great grandmother passed away. And so they did not believe, for some reason, like if they had children, and all of my great aunts had a child before they got married. All of those children that they had, and it was 14 of them, all of those kids that they had before they got married, when they got married, they could not take those kids. My great grandmother raised them. She would not allow them. And it was just kind of weird that she felt that way, but that's what happened. And so a lot of my mother and a lot of my mom's first cousins, I call my aunts and uncles, because they grew up like brothers and sisters, the first children, because they just didn't believe in that. No, you can't take her. That's not his child. I'm gonna keep that child because I don't know about him. That's just how they were. It was just unfortunate. I think that's an unhealthy thing because, we think about that now. You go, I'm not getting ready to be with nobody that could not accept my children, especially a minor child. And it's not that the men didn't accept them. My great grandmother just said, whether he accept them or not, they're not going because they're not his children, right? That those are not his kids. Which is, I don't know, almost like I don't know what that was. He said she shouldn't have even been involved. Right, she should not have even been involved with him. But like I said, things of that nature go on, and it's still kind of happening when you have issues with children that your significant other already had. Because you have men. I've heard women. I have friends that have gotten married to men or had relationships with guys, and they moved in together, and the man was jealous of the kids. You show them kids too much affection. I was, when they were showing them kids a lot of affection before he ever even came into that household. It seems like to me, I don't know, things are just kind of twisted now. I don't know, things are just really, really twisted now. You have people in relationships, and I could never be with somebody, and though she had two minor children, and they said not only was he beating on her, but he came in mistreating her kids to the point where she started talking to her friends about it. Why would she ever stay in a situation with somebody? Like I said, she's a pretty girl. They on one of them they were showing those kids, but when I read that those kids was peeking out of the window because they was afraid when the police got there, that hurt me so bad. They had to beg them, tell them it's okay, open the door. They peeking out of the blinds because they scared, because they just watched their mother get unalived by a man who just that was mistreating them. What's his name? DeWayland. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, he's still on the run. It says, according to Law and Crime, two young children were in the home but were not physically harmed. In January 2020, it was reported by authorities that Diawan triplet, Hearst's half brother, had been unalived in Texas City. Michael King, 25, was convicted for the unaliving. Detectives have connected Hearst and Collins, who was King's former girlfriend and the mother of his children. They also learned that Hearst and Collins reportedly started dating in June of this year, and the relationship quickly turned abusive. Collins showing evidence of her injuries to her friends and family. So she started dating him in June of this year. And as soon as he started dating her, he immediately started beating on her and mistreating her children because he went in with a mission. Now, his brother was taken out back in 2020, and he still got all of this hurt in his heart, I guess, or hate. And whereas he runs up on or actively starts seeking out, I don't know how long he had been trying to date her, but he started dating her in June of this year. And her family and friends said she moved to try to get away from him because he started being so abusive to her. So you start dating somebody in June, you ain't in love with him, you don't even know him. That's 4 months. In less than 4 months, he has already taken her out. Unfortunately, he was just waiting on that guy to call home. He was just waiting to see that so that he could show him, he could see him while he in jail, popping his little sons in the face like he did. And I'm sure he ended up taking her out because when she saw it, she started trying to protect her sons. That's true, James. Never underestimate anybody. Never. As I say, when people are insistent on violating people, there's nothing normal about people like that. I never underestimate. I go to the extreme. It ain't nothing normal. Always remember that there is nothing normal about wanting to violate other people, whether it's prying into their life, whether it's whatever it is as it relates to a violation. If a person does not invite you into their territory, into their personal territory, you shouldn't even want to be in it. If you start inviting yourself, you start snooping around inviting yourself, that means you're uninvited. There's nothing normal about that, and there are laws against that. Always get it documented. Start a paper trail. Okay? Start a paper trail. Okay? Start a paper trail. I'm telling you. And make sure you're right. Don't go file nothing false, because it's going to catch up with you. Okay? It's going to catch up with you. Make sure you're right. Because sure enough, when they are obsessed, what they'll start doing is they start recruiting weak-minded people that are already mentally ill. And so what you have to do is you have to make sure that you have a paper trail so that you can let them know it's going to cost you your life to be a sent out. Okay? That's going to deter everybody else. But it's going to be unfortunate that somebody had to die because they wanted to be a send out, but you put on paper the root of the problem so that when that person dies from being a sent out, the folks can go and get the root of the problem. Okay? Let's see. It says, according to a report, King allegedly brought a phone in from prison and made a FaceTime call to Collins on the day of the unaliving. That says that the Hearst taunted King by slapping his sons in the face after answering the call. Instead, Collins was last heard in the background saying, "No, get away from my baby, get away from him." So the guy, he loved for the guy to see him, to hear the guy in the background from jail saying, leave my child alone, get away from my child. Okay. Wow. Mm. Yeah, they said that she had been trying to get away from him, but it was too late. But she had just moved. So if you move to get away from somebody, how they know where you live at? Lorenzo says everything you do under the sun goes noticed. A wise man told me that, and it's absolutely true. Yeah, people don't realize that what they do affects other people. And like I said, I've never in my life seen so many, but it's a lot of sick people in the world though. It's a lot of sick people in the world. And the sad thing about it is they feel like that they're not sick. That's a real dangerous thing when you're sick and you think that you're not. Okay, when you're sick and you think that you aren't. Okay. Ken says a lot of women are desperate to be with somebody, even when the situation is unhealthy. Right. Because if you meet somebody in June and he immediately starts being abusive to you, being abusive to your children, This is in a 4-month span that her friends and stuff said she started having conversations with them talking about how abusive he was. You would think that would still be in the honeymoon stage. The dopamine ain't even, is still in their brain. Okay. But he immediately comes in and start beating on her and her kids. I wouldn't have, it never should have happened. I don't care if it had been 10 years. Ain't nobody gonna put their hands on me. I don't care if it's 20 years. Shit. If I had been with him, you put your hands on me, there are consequences. Getting in these friendships and relationships need to be background checks because you never know people intentions. Right. I just wonder if she knew that. I wonder if she knew that. I wonder if she knew that her baby daddy was in jail for taking out his brother. I wonder. He says they say he was gonna get the man's sister, and wow, so he even tried to date the man's sister. Maybe she curved him. He couldn't date the man's sister, so he get up at his baby's mother and move in with his children. Why would you let a man move in with you that you met in June up to now, and he immediately starts, mistreating you and your kids? So if he was gonna get up with the man's sister, she probably didn't want him. So the next best thing is to get at his baby mama, and to get, and his kids was in the house because that's what he was after. It couldn't have been just any ex-girlfriend, because the ex-girlfriend that ain't got no kids with him, that wouldn't have been good revenge. But this is a baby mama. She got his little small kids in the house. Because I think the kids was 4 and 5 or something like that. Her sons, 5 and 6. Oh, I just hit the jackpot. Okay, I just hit the jackpot because his son's in the house. I'm so glad he didn't kill those little boys, but it was worse what he did. You busting somebody's son in the face in jail while he looking on FaceTime in jail. Said, now I'm getting you back by mistreating your minor baby because your baby mama, she didn't even have no business at 4 months. You ain't even got no business letting nobody that you met 4 months ago even come to your house or around your children. That ain't even safe. You just met them 4 months ago. You don't know them. Everybody hit the hey look, the real little T. You guys make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hold on. Lorenzo says, I'm in Montgomery, Alabama, and I see so many young girls will overlook a working man that's making an honest living and rather deal with these guys that act gangster and carrying weapons. That's true. You're absolutely right, Lorenzo. I think it's unfortunate that a lot of women look at being protected by a guy. He got to be a gangster. When there are a lot of men that get out and work and stuff every single day that can be just as protective. They just protective in another way, or they don't know because they don't give themselves the opportunity to know. When you have small children like what this girl has, she should have been working to make sure the safety of her children and having a healthy environment for her kids should have been first priority. If she gonna be out messing around with somebody, they never should have made it to her household in no 4 months, let alone living up in there. But they said this man started out mistreating this girl and beating on this girl to the point where she had to move. So to move to get away from him and started taking another route. But here's the thing: how did he find out where she lived at? You know, if she moved, how did he find out about the new place? I know the guy in prison that feels stupid right now. I know the guy in prison feels stupid right now. I don't know. He probably relieved that his sons are still alive. I don't know if he feels stupid or he wanted to keep. I'm sure he feels some type of hurt because now his sons don't have, and that was the goal. Now his sons don't have their mother, and I'm sure he's in jail for a very long time. So his sons don't have anybody. It says that the sons are now being raised by the girl's mother. Ken says, I had a friend that when her kids was in the house, no one she was dating came to her home. She would make that known. Listen, my oldest daughter said to me, Mama, I only remember you seeing, when I was growing up, I only remember seeing one man. I never allowed people around my children. Never. And the only reason why they saw that guy is because I had been dating him for a long time. And when they saw him, he was sitting in the front room. I never had guys spend the night at my house. I don't care how long I was dating them when my kids were at home. I was not going to be going in my room and locking the door and letting my little girls see that. I was the model of my household. I was a single woman. I didn't say I didn't get my groove on. I'm just saying my daughters didn't see it. They was not going to see me mama in there with her boyfriend with the door locked. Absolutely not. They was not going to see that. I didn't leave them at home so I can go spend the night with somebody. I'm going to go be with my man. Y'all lock this door and don't open the door. Hell no, I was not going to leave my girls vulnerable at home just so I could go lay up with a man. No. And I wouldn't have had a man that said that. Come over here, come and put the girls in the bed and come over here since you don't want me to come over there. That they knew better than to ask me stuff like that. Stuff I don't play about. I never did play about stuff like that. I wasn't leaving my daughters nowhere by themselves so I can go spend the night with somebody. McName says fake love and disloyalty would get you gone fast. And now he on the run. So what he running for? He concocted a scheme. Unfortunately, his brother was taken out back in 2020. It's been 4 years. And he trying to get with the man's sister and all of that. I'm trying to see so he could do something to the man's sister. It was in Texas City. I'm trying to see if I could find out more about his brother. His name was D3ATH Triplet. Okay, so here's his brother. I don't know what's wrong with this. I know what it is. The battery is probably dying. Sit down. So the brother, so this is his brother right here. That's his brother that was unfortunately taken out in 2020. Okay, that's his brother. He was 31 years old at the time. This is the young lady and her children. The young lady and her 2 sons. It's so sad. She was only 23. Her friend said she had just started confiding in them about suffering abuse at his hands, and she was showing visible bruises. Right? They said he immediately, once she started trusting him, he immediately started abusing her. Um, let me see. I'm trying to pull up the brother stuff. Diane triplet. Sit down, Remy. You guys, make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? I would appreciate that so much if you all would hit the like button. The brother was killed July 31st of 2020. It's not a whole lot. Okay, here it is right here. It says, the Daily News says, Diane Corey Jakeem triplet. It says, with the drawing of a new day, a new baby boy was welcomed into the world. He was loved and nurtured by triplet and Hearst family. This precious gift is from in the form of a baby boy. Diane Corey Jakeem was born June 12th, 1989. His parents, Diane Triplet Hearst and Waylon Hearst. Scooter, as he was lovingly called, was educated in the public school of Hitchcock and Texas City Independent School Districts. After completing his secondary education, he was eager to begin the next chapter in his book of earthly life. Hold on, y'all. Shit. Yeah, hold on for a second. Yeah, hold on give me 1 second. Y'all make sure you all hit the like button. I need to do something right quick because I can't deal with this right here. It's getting on my nerve. Hold on, you all. Y'all hit the like button for me. Okay, let's see if it works better now. Okay, it does. Let's see. Okay, so this is the young man's brother. This is his obituary. They called him Scooter. It says he was lovingly called. Was educated in the public schools of Hitchcock and Texas City Independent School District. After completing his secondary education, he was eager to begin the next chapter in his book of earthly life. He was avid music lover and enjoyed spending untold hours working on his music career. Scooter was an excellent father to his children. He loved his family and spending quality time with them. As attested to by his many friends and family members, he was a devoted father, loving son, protective brother, caring grandson, kind nephew, fun-loving cousin, and a loyal friend. His love for his family was sincere, and he always wanted to ensure his legacy would be provided for. He was surely one of a kind, unique in 1,000 ways. He respected people, and people respected him. He leaves a legacy of love to his family and friends. Dawan Corey Jakeem transitioned from his earthly life to his eternal life on July 31st, 2020. He is preceded in death by his maternal grandfather, Ernest Triplett, and other loved ones. His maternal grandfather. Okay. Let's see, his memory will live on, his loved ones. Mother Diane Triplett, father Waylon Hurst, children Kendall Triplett, Dallas Triplett, a Goddess Triplett, a God Triplet, siblings Carisha Johnson, Dewasha Hurst, Waylon Hurst Jr. That's the one who went over there and did that. Dwaylen Hurst. Ooh, I tell you, they got some different kind of names, okay? But I hate that happened. I do. So it's the Waylon that concocted the scheme. I wonder, I hope, I hate that happened. I don't really know what the circumstances are. I was trying to find it, what really happened. I guess I have to look it up. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because now he didn't do anything for his brother's legacy as far as his death. He didn't do anything. Now what has to happen is he's got to go to jail for the rest of his life. So even in his brother's death, I think that defeats the purpose, and that's a lot of dishonor. Because you find a woman and start mistreating her and her children to avenge your brother's death, that's evil. So it's unfortunate. So they're hiding him out right now. That's what's going on. His folks is hiding him out, but they may as well turn him in because he got to go in. He gonna have to go in. There is nothing noble about what he did. He didn't really get back at the person that did this to his brother. So his brother got killed over a domestic situation that didn't have nothing to do with the guy that killed him. He got 12 years. Wow. Hold on, let me see something. So he felt like it was a hold on, y'all. So here is the guy right here that was arrested for taking out his brother. This is him. This is the guy whose girlfriend that he unfortunately killed and was, mistreating his sons. It says an hour before he was shot in the street on the east side of Texas City, One Triplet was threatened by two armed men at a gas station on the city's west side. Police said what caused the confrontation still was unclear Tuesday, but as the motive behind the shooting still were being investigated, police confirmed they had arrested one man in connection to Triplet's death and believed they were close to arresting a second man. Michael King, 21, of Texas City, surrendered to police Monday, according to the Texas City Police Department, and was charged with murder. King was held on a $150,000 bond. That wasn't a lot of money, and was still in custody Tuesday afternoon, according to court records. During an interview with the investigators before he was arrested, King claimed the shooting was an act of self-defense, according to a criminal complaint disclosed Tuesday. King is accused of being one of the men who shot and killed Triplet, 31, of Hitchcock on a Texas City road Friday afternoon. A second man believed involved in the shooting has been identified but not arrested as of Tuesday. The criminal complaint released Tuesday reveals some details of the event police suspect led up to the shooting, which occurred in the 1100 block of 3rd Avenue North. Triplet was shot while he was arguing with a woman in the street. According to the complaint, two men approached Triplet during the argument, drew guns out of their waistbands, and shot Triplet, according to the complaint. Triplet managed to drive away after being shot, but crashed his car after only about a block, according to police. He was found wounded inside the car and was declared dead on the scene. Police initially said they had no suspects or description of the men who committed the shooting. Investigators' first clue about the suspect was an anonymous tip leading to a gas station at the corner of South Bell Drive in Texas on the west side of Texas City. Security cameras from the gas station showed Triplet there about 1 p.m. along with the woman he was later seen arguing with on 3rd Avenue. According to complaint, King and another man approached Triplet at the gas station and pointed guns at him, but left without firing. Police learned the gas station confrontation was preceded by another incident that involved Triplet, King, and the woman at a house on Bell Drive, according to a complaint. The fatal shooting occurred about an hour after the gas station confrontation, about 5 miles east of the gas station. The day after the shooting, police issued a public appeal asking for information on the shooter. On the same day, detectives received a call from an attorney representing King. The attorney agreed to take King in the interview, according to the complaint. During the interview, King allegedly told police he believed Triplet had stolen guns from him, leading to the events at the gas station. King also told police the shooting on 3rd Avenue North was committed in self-defense. King allegedly told police he shot at Triplet because Triplet was reaching for a gun inside of his own car, according to the complaint. Police said they found no weapon in Triplet's vehicle, according to the complaint. The second man wanted in the shooting was also suspected of being involved in the gas station confrontation. According to the complaint, police found a car believed to have been used in the shooting at the man's girlfriend's house. When police arrived at the girlfriend's house, they found two women wiping the vehicle down, according to the complaint. Officers told the women to stop touching the car until police could perceive it for evidence, according to the complaints. Wow. Just a bunch of crap. That, all of this is about nothing. He said, so somehow they must have known each other. He says he believed that the person he believed that he had stolen a gun from him. He believed that the victim had stolen a gun from him. The victim was arguing with the girl. So evidently they knew the girl or something, I don't know. but it was all about, it never should have happened, that he never should have been killed. But the brother, I don't know if the brother has lost his mind. He got 12 years. Okay. So I'm sure that was the outrage. The guy got 12 years for unaliving his brother. And so he immediately he flips out, because you got to flip out if you plot, okay, I'm gonna get with his sister. His sister don't want to, she curves him. Okay, well then his girlfriend was open game, his children's mother. So he gets with her. Maybe there was some vulnerability. He immediately starts, because I know it takes some time for these cases to get to court. We see that, right? So did this happen? Was he sentenced this year or something? And he just went into it. He had this anger on the inside of him. And he goes, his girlfriend is fair game because I can get in the house with his small sons. We see how small his sons are. And he immediately starts, according to the girlfriend's friends, he immediately starts abusing her to the point where she moves from where she was living at before. My thing is, how did he get her address? He moves from where she was living at before to get away from him, but he ended up at the new house. That's where he killed her at, in front of her sons. And he was abusive to her children. Okay. So he got her new address from social media. Wow. Anyway, y'all, that's a sad story. So that's why I say people got to be extremely careful. Even now with my daughters being adults, and my girls are very respectable, I ain't gonna have no husband or nobody that look at me and say, I don't like your daughters. I don't want your daughters around me. Those are my motherfucking kids, nigga. Don't you ever say that I can't have my kids around me. That's a problem. Okay? That's a problem. That's what I said. Did she know? I wonder about that, Pink. Did she know who he was? Did she know? It would be, their names and stuff were all in obituary. He had a different last name than his brother. Because it seems like to me his mother was married to had him. He had a different last name. So it seemed to me his mother married his father and had another set of children. She already had him. He was the oldest. Hey, Tyranny. Women always digging up something. How could she not know, though? We meet somebody, the first thing we do, we start digging. Okay, let's see this. Let's see that. Let's see that. You already know what's going on by the second day, because you go, okay, why she commenting on his post like that? Who is she? So she let a man move up in the house with her, and she not know who he was. It's something, I don't know. I just don't, as nosy as we are as women, it's hard for me to believe that she didn't know. Because we go dig up sisters and brothers, they didn't even know they had. You didn't tell me such and such was your daddy child. Hell, he don't even know that's his damn half. He didn't even know his daddy had another child. Women so nosy and be digging, they done went and digged all that up trying to find something. They done connected that his daddy got a long lost child somewhere. So it would be hard for me to believe that she didn't know, that she was that out of touch. But when he started being mean to her and those kids, whether she knew or not, that was the cue to get the hell on. They said some people don't pay their brother. Either way it goes, it's a sad situation. I hate that happened. I do. I hate that happened. Her family lived in Texas City, Texas. Yeah, her family lived in Texas City, Texas. Mm, mm, mm. Her mother is the one raising her sons now. They said when the police got there and started knocking on the door because the boyfriend from jail told his mother to call the police to make sure everything is okay. And she didn't answer the door. The police said then, the children were so scared. The two little boys, they could see them peeking out of the blinds. They were so scared. They wouldn't answer the door, but they knew they was in there because they could see them peeking from out of the blinds while their mother laid there dead in front of them. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. It's just so sad. Oh, I hate that. Somebody just posted he tried to get with the boy. He tried to get up on the boy brother and couldn't. He was gonna try to date his he tried to date the boy's sister. And I guess nothing panned out with that. I guess she didn't want him. He tried to date his sister. So I guess because he couldn't get up on his sister, because he was gonna do the same thing to his sister. He started getting up on his girlfriend or his baby's mother. Probably don't want to admit it, but some women are just that desperate for affection. That's so true. Now it's the truth, Mr. Parker. That is absolutely the truth. Because how could you love a man in 4 months? Hell, you still be in a honeymoon phase in 4 months of the relationship. Oh, his sister. Oh, so the sister said he told her that she was next. Oh, the man wasn't playing about his brother. Well, he was wrong. What he should have did was he should have went and committed another crime and went to jail, so he could have got in the same damn prison where the boy was that took his brother out. Why was he preying on these women? We just read that the boy, hey, he preying on a lot of women and children. It ain't nothing gangster about what he did. That wasn't no good get back where you're beating on helpless little kids. Well, he wasn't calculating enough because he in jail. He was definitely cold though. You're right, Pink. He was cold. How's it going? Everybody, cold world. Yeah, it's a cold world. Just a lot of evil people. So it ain't, when people say he got that get back, it wasn't nothing get back about going and dating a woman and then stabbing her in front of her small children and then beating up on her small kids. What's gangster about that? That ain't nothing gangster about that. As a matter of fact, the people that's around him ought to be reprimanding him. He shouldn't even make it to jail. Okay. So, woo, I found that story interesting. Yeah, I don't know if he flipped or what. I guess he was very close to his brother. I can understand the love of his brother, but it's just going and getting yourself put in prison for, because see, that guy gonna get out for what he did to his brother. He only got 12 years. He's not gonna get out. He get ready to go to jail and he ain't getting out no more. Okay, hold on. So, like I said, it's messed up, you guys. It's messed up. Anyways, y'all, I was gonna talk about straight drop, but I just got a call and I gotta get off here because I got something I gotta do today. But I'm gonna get back on later on, okay? I really appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we'll get back on tonight and we'll talk about straight drop, okay? We'll talk about straight drop, all right? I want you guys to please, that call right there, I got something I gotta do. I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe, okay? If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.